disc golf in the Olympics, you have the PGA International Director, Brian Hognier, breaking down basically disc golf's path to the Olympics. This is a 4-minute video. I'm not going to play the entire thing. I'm going to just give you a summary of the highlights. So the first thing he really talks about that's important is they basically raised the threshold for more people to get in. So you'll be able to see people that are playing PGA Worlds like in the women's category that are like 860, and maybe even some men that are 930, and that's because you have to include more countries in it. So I'll let you go ahead and listen to his say on that.
In both MPO and FPO, and that's why you see players, a handful of players with ratings in the 950 or FPO 830, 840 range, because those are the best players in their countries. They were registered as pros last year, and they played at least 3 PDJ events. That was the standard.
So the theme of this whole video is basically to include more countries to allow it to get into the Olympics. So he's saying that we were only like around 12 to 15 countries, but by changing this and opening the barrier to more countries, this brought it all the way up to 45 different countries participating in PDJ Worlds.
From what used to be 12 to 15 nations represented at the Worlds to 45 is the final number this week.
This next part is really important as well. He's basically saying that if disc golf were to ever get into the Olympics, it wouldn't be by the PDGA, it would be by WFDF, which is like the organization behind like Ultimate Frisbee, Frisbee Sports, and some other stuff like that. It would be this organization leading the way. I'll let you hear what he says.
The organization that gets us into the World Games and that could, in theory, get us eventually into the Olympics is not the PDGA, it is WFDF, the governing body for the world of disc sports as a whole, including Ultimate. And WFDF is an IOC and Sports Accord member.
Really 2 main parts left. First off, again, he's just hammering down the countries. PDGA is around in 45 countries, and that doesn't include like countries that might just have like a single course or like a few players. That's at some sort of scale, some sort of PDGA event every single year to be considered in this. The second thing he's about to say, I'll actually play it, and then we can talk about it afterwards. Oh, also, before we go into what he's about to say, 80 countries might be the bar for the Olympics, but it also depends on who is hosting the Olympics that year to decide which sports get in and which sports don't. And a lot of times sports even get into the Olympics, but they're short-lived and then they leave the Olympics. So he's really looking for the slow ride up to actually get in and stay in.
Another dimension of our sport, which we really need to work on, is the male-female imbalance in our sport. With all of our efforts over the years, it is still a ratio on a global basis of 92 to 8.
I love that, as he's saying that 92 to 8 is insane. We need more women to play, obviously, professional level. And a lot of the camera guys just like, you know, go into Isaac and Niklaus and is like, you know, here's the bunch of guys behind the table while we're talking about getting more females on board. So yeah, I mean, if we get more females on board, that also helps the kids to the Olympics instead of it just being predominantly male. And I mean, if you play any bit of disc golf, you'll know that like any tournament that happens, there's probably under like 3 females unless it's like an A tier or up. But most B tiers and C tiers, at least that I've been playing for the last almost 10 years, barely has any women, and that needs to change in order for things to go the right direction. So I just want to quickly look at some comments because they make really good points. The first one that I saw that really stuck out to me was regular golf just got in like 10 years ago. And obviously, like, regular golf has millions, billion-dollar industry. And disc golf still has a long ways to go to catch up with regular golf. Some of you might be watching, might be like ball golf or whatever, but you know what I mean. Just regular golf. And then there's things like pickleball that's been exploding that, you know, isn't in. So it's like, it's not just kind of going from A to Z. Like, this is... A lot of people are thinking that, like, best case scenario, we're looking in like the 2030 range, 2035. It's not like we're looking in like the next few years to get in. I don't know a ton about getting into the Olympics. I thought it was cool listening to Brian Hogue. I'm not even going to try to say his name. I thought it was cool listening to him kind of talk about the pipeline, though, and know that there is a plan and that there is a pipeline. That makes me excited as somebody who is an absolute disc golf enthusiast and loves the game. I would love to see it in the Olympics one day. But I don't know. What do you think about this? Do you think that disc golf will ever be in the Olympics? Do you think he has some good points? What do you think we need? And then lastly, like, do you you like videos like this, because I've been making like a lot of content where I'm actually out playing, but that's really just for fun. I do a lot of news content because that's what I do on all my other socials as well. So if you like this, let me know down below. Leave a subscribe if this is your first time ever seeing one of my videos, and I will see you guys next video. Peace out, everybody.